Is that the name of our band? Heartbeat Needs. And we're going to do that loads now. Heartbeat Needs. Where's it gone, Emily? I can't believe it. It's been here in the entire time, and we pressed record and it's gone, which is a good thing because what were you going to do to it?
I was about to electrocute it.
Is it wrong that we quite enjoy electrocuting flies? Can we admit that? Can we even admit that?
I feel like the vegans might come for us.
No, I know. Right. If this was an affiliate kind of channel thing, we would have a link to that in the chat, in the description. We don't.
Probably not this one. I was away at Girls' Weekend the other day, and my friend Samantha had the Gucci version of our cheap, nasty Amazon version.
What's the Gucci version?
But it was like this, but it had a much nicer handle. It felt a lot better in the hand, and you literally just kind of
it had a nicer handle and felt better in the hand.
It just felt more like a quality product that you literally had to wave in there, and they just went bang.
Right. We will get to the point of this, which is all about environment.
I don't know. Well, this is helping us with our environment.
I'm going to point out, Mrs. This is low quality. We have 3 children who like to electrocute us and themselves with this, and it's still working fine on its second. Let's get to the point. Yeah, you get that ready. Right.
Sorry, to give context, there's a fly in the room.
There's a fly.
We usually do this from upstairs. We're doing it from our dining room table today. And as we started hitting record, the flies descended.
It did. And you may notice we do not have a guest this week. So we're in gaps of guests because we've got some stuff we want to share that we think is of value to you. And we're going to use guests. We're going to have guests up until the start of our summer holidays, which is the end of July sometime. And then we're going to take a break for the summer. But we've got so much we want to talk about.
Can I just say take a break for the summer?
Take a break.
From the podcast. However, I feel like we are not going to be taking any kind of break with work. Really, I think we are powering through.
No, I know. We've said this. Well, yeah, we never stop work, do we? And for those with children who do have school holidays, you will know that it's basically like holding on. We discussed this with Emma Jenkins. It's like holding on to a speeding train that goes through, and the 6 weeks one is... We can't say the worst because the mindset police, and we're on board with you, mindset police. We're not having a go. Will pick us up on it. Did we just say it's challenging? The 6 week one is the longest train journey, I think.
So anyway, podcast back in September.
Back in the room. Right. What are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking about our environment, aren't we? And Alan has been talking about this on the newsletter. If anyone reads our newsletter.
Went out this morning.
If you don't, make sure you subscribe. About your environment for success, an environment to achieve things. And that's been a big thing for us, both between us, myself and Alan, and with our current client base at the moment as well.
Yeah, no, it is. And like sometimes Emily and I, we goof off about us kind of working at home with all the toys around and everything else. But actually, for us, it's a perfect environment. Are you laughing at all the toys?
All of the toys.
I know. We've literally pushed them off camera, right? And we'll do a photo. Come and find us on Instagram. We'll do a photo of what it looks like, really. But actually, for us, it's the perfect environment. And we've got a couple of examples coming up of some things that have happened very recently to us that really cement this. And we just wanted to talk about what that means, what it means to us, what it can mean for you, and, you know, what environment even is and what success and achieving is to you. So come on, give us the first example, because we are welcoming clients into our home soon, next week actually.
Yeah.
And they said we'd actually rather do it in person, and we went okay, because normally being digital first, we'd always do it online.
I'll tell you one of the main things why we're excited about having people around our house, around the table, is that it will encourage us, number one, to potentially tidy our house for a little bit, and we might live in a slightly showroom house for all of 24 hours before it goes back to normal. But no,
showroom room, not showroom
room. Everything will be, again, you may understand this kind of as a concept, behind a closed door and shut to the rest of the world for 24 hours before it all falls back outside.
Yeah, so let's cover off, because it's relevant to what we talk about in online visibility.
Massively,
let's cover off where the client came from and why we're allowing them into our home.
So we this week signed on a new client, a one-to-one client. They're coming for us for a strategy day. And it really excited us because we had no idea who they were.
Zilch.
And when I say zilch, as in We'd never had a conversation. They weren't in our business network. They weren't in our network's network. They weren't a referral. They weren't on social media. They've literally just started following us today. They have never left us a comment on Instagram or LinkedIn.
They've never listened to this podcast,
They've
Emily.
never listened to this podcast. They were brand new to us. And when I had the conversation, when we got to the point of, shall we book on? I asked, where did you find us? And they found us on a video that we recorded for Heartbeat, which is our platform for our community, last April. And I spoke in that room to a group of 5, maybe 4 people in that room on one of those webinars that we always do. And you know the feeling sometimes when you go along and you feel like, oh, what's the point? Because it's a quietish space. Not everyone's turned up. They're all going to watch the recording later. Wow, someone watched the recording later. And
you know, how many times have we gone, you know, we've discussed that, who turns up live versus watching recording. 90% apparent. Is it 90% or is that...
90% of lurkers.
90% of lurkers. I think it's a similar figure for who watches the content non-live.
And when we talk about... this is a big conversation we always have with our clients, is that whole ROI on whatever piece of content you're putting out. You cannot pinpoint it sometimes to that day, that week, that month that content went out, because you just don't know who's watching and when they're ready to. So we're massive advocates of, you know, evergreen content and people being able to find you when they're ready to find you. This particular couple who are coming to work with us at our house next week, that we've never met them before, found us when they were ready because they're building a community themselves. And actually, we were the right fit for them. And one conversation later, we are really looking forward to having them here at our house. And they asked for that. They said, we can do it online. Can
we finish off the Heartbeat bit first, and then we come down to in our home. And it is our home, but we get to that point. Look, the Heartbeat bit I find fascinating. So we wanted a new platform to move the Digital Circus community into. Heartbeat came up on an AppSumo lifetime deal, right? It was an absolute steal.
Seriously, everyone just needs AppSumo. If you haven't yet found AppSumo, it's one of those that I check once a month just to see what's coming out there, because you never know what golden software items are coming through that haven't yet made it into the massive...
I haven't sorted out the affiliate link for AppSumo yet. Just go and Google AppSumo. No link here. Right. So we discovered Heartbeat. Part of what we do is making sure we're using something to the best of what we can.
Yes.
So Emily was our Heartbeat expert, and that means we're getting value for money. We're using it properly for our clients. Off the back of that, Emily got invited to start chatting with Heartbeat, which she did, was why she got invited on to host that webinar on how we use it for the Digital Circus. But then we also support some of our clients with their Heartbeat needs. And
Heartbeat Needs.
Heartbeat Needs. Is that the name of our band? Heartbeat Needs. And we're going to do that loads now. Heartbeat Needs. And, so let's look at it. And then now we've got new clients offer our core kind of services, not our kind of Heartbeat stuff and everything else off the back of that. And if we're being brutally honest, we also make some affiliate stuff off of Heartbeat as well from recommending.
It's absolutely proven. We always talk about the whole, embrace the grey. That's where the true magic and excitement, or whatever you say.
I embrace the grey because that's where the true growth and excitement happens. Is Heartbeat Needs. Yeah.
we should do a reel on that later.
We are going to do a reel on that later.
Really cool. And I just think for anyone listening who might be in that kind of content struggle or are getting flustered by the fact that you're putting stuff out there and it feels like you're walking through treacle, you just don't know when that tipping point comes for people wanting to find you. And it's still super important to be doing that. So number 2.
I'm just Googling heartbeatneeds.com to see if it's available. We put it out there now. It's ours,
Secondly, we are hosting...
we were going to talk about why we're okay with them coming into our home.
Oh, yeah. I think, we have always been a digital-first company, and we've talked about that lots, long and hard over the years of working in Yellow Tuxedo. But we also recognise about environments that people like to learn in, and the fact that it's about the conversation around the table and being able to really impart genuine quality knowledge to those people as well, and have that feedback back to us as well. And I think being in our dining table, around our dining table, look, we've looked at events in the past and going to nice stately homes and going to.
Well, we've got the Funpreneur Big Day Out at Poulton's Park.
We recognise there's a place for that to be inspirational and to feel like a CEO of your business. Let's go and have a nice 4-course lunch and some champagne over. We've all seen that, and I recognise that's awesome. But sometimes it's about just getting around and talking it through, and if that's around our dining table, so be it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm with that. Who was it? Was it Maria Forello? You'll all know that. She always talked about simplify to amplify, and I kind of think the dining table is the simplest working environment, right? I say everyone's got one. In theory, most people have one who will be listening to this podcast or watching this. So we've all got a dining table. So there's no co-working spaces. There's no office. There's no XYZ, no frills at Poulton's Park or wherever. But actually, let's bring it down to its common denominator. No, simplest. Why would I say common denominator? That's not even what we're talking about.
Words.
Heartbeat needs. Too much jargon. Sorry, Mum, for the jargon. Mum hates the jargon. Bring it back to that simplest thing, our dining table, where we can host. It's in our environment where I can't say this without sounding cheesy, but where we achieve and we succeed, we do our work and we can do that. And we want to share that and bring people into it. And I did put this poll out on Instagram. For lunch, would you rather I cooked a barbecue or we got something in? And do you know what? 100% of people voted, and it was more than one person. More than one person. It wasn't more than two, actually. Do you know what they all said? 100%? Barbecue. What am I going to cook? Is this the barbecue episode, or is that next week? What am I going to cook?
Yes, barbecue, great, fantastic.
Yeah,
and
move
it
on from the
makes a
barbecue.
difference. But again, that's when you talk about environment and the people you surround yourself with. And we've been in Yellow Tuxedo for 5 years this week.
No, I keep thinking it's 4, but actually it's 5.
5 years this week. And, we have built our business around the fact that we like to be personable. We like to be regular, whatever regular is to you. But basically, we understand a lot of you who are watching may be sitting around your own dining table, and that's totally fine. We're not all in a massive co-working space like Alan alluded to. We don't all have that budget scale in desire, inclination to want to go and do that. But Alan and I share our tidbits from home. We talk about the family quite a lot. Alan talks about his running quite a lot. And actually, it was quite interesting that we recently welcomed our new cohort to the Digital Circus, our membership. And 50% of the room, we're looking at the room and like, oh my goodness, 50% of the room have come through Alan and his bloody running, which we all joke about.
I haven't even run with them all. So only one of them,
But
I think.
that commonality, again, is Alan's sport, chatting, understanding juggle, trying to fit it around your work life, school life, home life, whatever that is. That's what attracted them to work with us within the Digital Circus, Yellow Tuxedo. The same with our dining table masterminds that we've got coming up in a couple of weeks' time. If you want to find out more, go and visit our website.
Dining table masterminds. These sound amazing.
But it's the fact that people will appreciate that we are not going to be necessarily chucking on the jargon and trying to be bigger than... we are just going to have a really nice, low-key chat with a little bit of knowledge there to help impart something on your life that you might want to implement in your business. It doesn't need to be big, scary, whatever, because actually the barbecue side, going back to the barbecue side, Alan talks about barbecues all the time. Did you know that Alan has 6 Weber barbecues? Because, why would you need more than one?
Why do you look taller than me?
I'm sitting on my leg because you told me to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm like, you're never taller than me.
We're doing it from the dining room table, and usually upstairs we have our adjustable seats so we can look the same height, and everyone actually thinks that I'm a lot taller than Alan. But I'm not, I'm shorter. But Alan said, sit at the dining table, and the chairs are really low, so I'm sitting on my feet to make it look like
First world issues, we can't get our microphone mounts any lower, so we've had to try and make ourselves higher. There we go. First world issues.
Chin up. Sure. But I'm saying environment is important, and putting yourself around the people who you get, you understand, you resonate with, you want to be around. There's a massive thing, and that's why Alan mentioned as well. We've got the Funpreneurs Big Day Out on the 11th of July. Because we looked at the attendee list going through that, and they're people that I want to spend the day with. And that's important. I don't want to say find your tribe, because that's not something we'd say, but when you find people that you just connect with and you hold on for dear life and you carry on with it.
So I did this. So like, if you got our newsletter this morning, hopefully you would have read this. If you haven't, one of the things I did when I was talking about environment within it, because I write the spiel at the beginning.
You can always tell.
I know, I defined environment because I was actually curious. I'm quite a detailed, literal person. And the dictionary, Oxford Languages say the surroundings or conditions in which a person, animal or plant lives or operates. And I just found those little bits, you know, because we all operate every day. And if we look at our businesses, we are operating within our businesses every single day. So are your surroundings and conditions conducive to success and achieving? That's the question. You know, no, I know. No, they are. This is the thing, because we work very quickly, so this allows us to do that.
This does, and this is a massive thing for us, and we've discussed this long and hard about what we would like in our ideal situation, and I don't think we'd want to change this situation, apart from it being a little bit cleaner. Let's face it, we could all just do with a cleaner coming in and just making our lives happier. And we've got little kids who like to spread their stuff everywhere. But for us to have, I know like Jude and Chris from Ready Steady Websites had in their older, they had a designated office space at the end of their garden. Brilliant. I wouldn't be at the end of our garden every single day because too much of our stuff needs to be in the house. I'd be back and forth, back and forth. The idea of going to a co-working space. Now, we have some amazing...
I had this literally in my head.
We have a couple of co-working spaces in Southampton. We're on the outskirts, actually. We're pretty close to Winchester than Southampton. And for us, going to a co-working space, although it would be amazing and feel quite fresh and having those conversations day to day, by the time we've woken up, done the school run, got in the car, travelled 40 minutes, parked the car, got to the co-working space, done all that stuff, done all that lovely networking, sat down.
We'd still have a day's work to do.
We'd still have a day's work to go. And I think our environment, although a bit crazy in terms of the day-to-days, no one day's the same, and yes, we do kind of piecemeal some of our day schedule. Some of it's in the evening, some of it's in the morning, some of it is between 9 and 3. Actually, it works really well for us because we are able to work at pace, fitting it around our day-to-day life as well, which is ever-changing. And I love it. And it just shows that really, as long as your focus is right and you know what you're trying to achieve, which is what we talk about with our clients all the time, is understanding that end goal and those little those micro steps to get you there. Does it matter if you're at your dining room table, a co-working table, a manor house in the country talking about, sipping champagne? You find your environment and what works for you, and it's totally fine to be in the chaos, in the clutter, if that works for you.
It is. Right, on that note, I think there's only one thing left to say. Heartbeat needs. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, all that malarkey. And, come and get involved in the conversation, whether that's in our dining table, on the socials, or whatever works for you, as always.
Yeah, last thing for me is this has been we've done a year of the Digital Circus Life nearly. We're coming full circle to it, and we've really, really enjoyed being part of this. If you've enjoyed listening to our episodes and you want to get further into the adventure, please do come and find us. So I really, really, really invite you.
Find us, don't mean hunt us down. That sounds a bit like Rambo First Blood for those who know. I know what I just got a bit nervous.
Come and follow the adventure. Come on to Instagram, join our newsletter, whatever you want to do. We're there to say hi. Unless
you're proposing a game of international hide and seek. In which case, come and find us.
Come and find us.
Oh, we could do that one day. Just launch an episode out to the 5 people who listen. No, more than 5 listen. And no, we're doing it. Right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. I don't know how that works in practice.
No, we work off.
Bye.